So, you're thinking about moving to Puerto Rico. But before you start packing your bags, there's some things you need to know. This video is actually part two of my girls Luna's moving to Puerto Rico tips. In this video, she's breaking down whether you actually need to speak Spanish, what the medical system is really like, and how to survive power outages, and a few other surprises. Trust me, you'll want to stick around for all of this, all of it. But if you didn't watch part one, I'll link it at the top of the screen right now, so you can watch that.
Hi, my name is Jade, and welcome to Get Into the Black, where we explore life, business, and culture our way, from Puerto Rico to the world. And quick side note, I'm also an Airbnb host here in Puerto Rico. So if you're planning a trip, I'd love to host you. You can find the booking link right in the description box.
So we have a quick announcement. Our community officially has a name, y'all. For now on, y'all are the Legacy Kinfolk. We ran a poll on YouTube and IG, and it was really close tie between Kinfolk and Legacy Nation. So we just decided to combine the two, give y'all the best of both worlds. So before we get into this video, go ahead and hit that like button like it owes you money. Drop a comment so I know you're awake, and subscribe, because why be a hater watching for free? Support the cause. We're on the road to 5K subscribers and hoping to hit that by the end of the year. So join the fam and help us get there. To my legacy kinfolk, if you really want to show us some love, share this video with at least one person. And if you really rock with us, if you really down, drop it in one of your group chats where people will benefit from it the most. All right, kinfolk, let's get into this video.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to part two of things you should know before moving to Puerto Rico. So for those of you that don't know, I have been living in PR since December 2022. So it's been just over 2 years now. And honestly, I love everything about PR. I love the people, I love the culture, I love the environment. I love everything about it. But I also get a lot of people that ask me questions about how it is to live here, how it is to live here like as an American and as a Black woman. So these are just some tips that I've learned since living here. I did drop a part one. So if you haven't watched part one, go back and watch that. But other than that, let's get into this video. All right, so I took some notes here. So let's get into it. And let's start off with one of the craziest shockers that I had when I first moved here, which was the frequent power outages. Anybody that lives here, anybody that's from here, they can attest to this being freaking insane. The insane thing about it is that it's not just that it's a power outage. It happens at the drop of a dime. It can be sunny outside. It can be rainy. It can be stormy. But you just never know how long it's going to be out. It can be out for 5 minutes. It can be out for 5 hours. It can be out for 5 days. You never know when or how long or even sometimes why it's going out. That was one of the biggest shockers to me, especially when I first moved here. I was staying in the studio apartment and there was a fire that happened at the electric plant. And the whole entire island lost power for over a week. And I was here by myself. I was not able to make any phone calls because the telephone lines were down. I could not cook. I could not put anything in the refrigerator. I could not charge my devices. It was very frustrating and just very wow. Not to mention the fact that, of course, the AC didn't work and the fans didn't work. So I was sleeping with the door open to let air in because it's hot and humid here. That was one of the most insane experiences I ever had. So that's something that you need to know before you move here, that you will most likely experience power outages unless you happen to live in one of those apartment buildings where they have backup generators or something like that. It's almost imperative that you invest in some type of backup generator or just something that's going to be able to provide you power in those moments where the power goes out and you don't know how long it's going to be out. So that is definitely very important, something that you should know before you move here. Secondly, I had a lot of people that were asking me questions about the job market, and me personally, I can't speak much on the job market because I own my own business. So there are a lot of expats that move here, which are, you know, a lot of people that I know from the States that moves here. They will they either work from home or they own their own business. So I can't speak too much on the job market here because I don't have a lot of knowledge about it. But yeah, like I said, I have my own business. I make and sell my own skincare products, and then I also have a catering slash private chef business, as well as I'm going to be opening a food truck soon. So it's kind of, like I said, I can't speak on the job market here. And also, I haven't tried to really enter into the job market because I feel like to do that, you have to kind of be fluent in Spanish, which is something I'm not yet. So, yeah, which kind of leads me into my next topic. You don't have to be 100% fluent in Spanish to live here, especially if you live in San Juan, which is the capital here. It's in the city. The airport is in San Juan. Well, really it's in Catalina, but Catalina and San Juan are like right next to each other. So it's not 100, you don't have to 100% be fluent in Spanish. A lot of the locals that live in this area, they know English, but you should make it a point to at least try learning Spanish and begin learning Spanish if you are going to move here. Just because, you know, if you're moving somewhere where they primarily speak Spanish, you should at least know some Spanish. You know, you should, anytime you move somewhere where they speak another language, you should try and learn that language and not just come there expecting everybody to know English. So, yeah. Like I said, I know a little Spanish. Estoy aprendiendo español, but you know, I know enough to get by, and I'm still actively learning. So I think that's important. Next, a lot of people were asking me about the medical care here, and uh, I had the. Why do I keep having these most insane experiences here? I don't know, but I had the most like the craziest experience at the hospital out here, and that's not to say that I'm not like speaking down on the medical care here at all. I'm just speaking from my personal experience. There was one experience that I had. I have not gone back to any doctors here. So basically, I went to the hospital because I thought that I had appendicitis, which I didn't. But I like rushed to the hospital because like I said, I thought I had that. And they had me basically waiting in this cold room for 4 hours before I was actually seen. They did some tests. They hooked me up to an IV. They were giving me fluids and things like that. They were asking me about my pain level, but still nobody knew exactly what was wrong. They did like an MRI. They did a what do you call it? An ultrasound. They did like all these different things to try and see like what was wrong. So I got there, like I said, 5 p.m. It's freezing cold in there, and I'm in pain. Got there at 5 p.m. I was not actually seen by a doctor until I think closer to maybe like 10. Wait, no, maybe like 9. So it was like 4 hours of me waiting, and then I was seen by a doctor. I was getting all these tests, and then I waited again for them to tell me what was wrong, but they still didn't tell me exactly what was wrong. Like I said, I had an IV hooked up to me. I'm in front of like 2 or 3 nurses. So I'm delirious. I'm freezing cold. I'm in pain. I'm tired. I'm just out of it. One of the nurses is holding my IV drip, and she says, "¿Tú quieres morphine?" And at first I said yes. But then I'm like, wait, did you just ask me if I wanted morphine? You were about to put morphine in my IV drip thing? You don't even know what's wrong with me. Why would you give me morphine? That's too fast, mama. That's too fast. Like, what? That was super crazy to me. I had to get up out of there. And then shortly after I left, like maybe a couple of days later, I found out that that was like one of the worst hospitals to go to. And I was like, dang, I wish I knew. So like I said, I can't speak on the overall medical care here. If there's anything that I need to get done or seen, I will normally just go back home to New York because my mother still lives there. So I would just go back to New York and go to the doctor and do all that stuff. But like I said, I know that medical care here isn't terrible, but I did not have the best experience. Next, the locals here are friendly, and they are willing to help you and things like that. But I will say, if you do plan on moving here, just respect the island, respect the culture, respect the people, respect the environment. Don't move here thinking that you're about to take over anything. Don't move here with a certain just Americanized mindset. You know what I'm saying? Just have a certain level of respect for not only yourself, but the people and the places around you. And in turn, they will respect you. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you have any more questions, let me know. Drop them down in the comments. And like I said, if you have not watched part 1 of my tips before moving to Puerto Rico, things you should know, go back and watch that. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you're still here, I love you, I love you, I love you, and see you next time. Besos. Mwah.
And that's a wrap. If you missed part 1, go check it out for the full lowdown before making the move. You'll see the thumbnail for the video at the end of this one. Big shout out again to my girl Luna for all of her amazing tips. And by the way, if you ever want a private chef in Puerto Rico who actually knows what she's doing, she's your girl. Hit her up. I'm going to leave her TikTok in the pinned comment. For everyone who is new here, for my non-legacy kinfolk folk, y'all need to join the tribe anyway. But anyway, for all my non-legacy kinfolk people, just know that the pinned comment always has important details and information in there. So make sure you check it out. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you really love us, please share this video with one of your friends and family. With that being said, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay black. This is Jade, and you're watching Get Into the Black. Bye-bye.